Brian Powell of Iron Far here with Hal Koerner before the start of the 2012 Hardrock 100.
That's right.
How are you, Hal?
I'm doing great.
You've been down here before. How's your previous time in the San Juans treated you?
Well, it's good to be back. This week I got here on Tuesday and just kind of getting some healthy flashbacks and not so healthy flashbacks to 2005. I just keep trying to remind myself whatever I saw in 2005, it'll be the opposite coming this way, clockwise, which will be fun. I think that'll be a little bit different, hopefully a little faster. We'll see.
So how did it go back in 2005?
Well, I think it's easy to be a little overzealous down here. You know, you have this huge playground and you have a course that goes on and it's beautiful and it goes to all these cool places. So we saw a lot of it. Didn't get I wasn't too acclimated to everything and ended up just a rough day as far as just trying to eat and how your stomach feels above altitude. Those were tough things. Carl passed me somewhere around mile 70 in the middle of the night, and you know, I was leading at that point, and then it was just a struggle to get to the finish, and that's, you know, mile 70, 75. That's sometimes where this race starts, and unfortunately it was ending for me that year. So, you know, I'll just try to keep a good pace and keep that frame of reference in the back of my mind, and not get too out of my comfort zone.
I mean, yeah, that's quite a while ago. 7 years ago. I mean, you've won a couple of Western States in there. You've had a lot of other, you know, big races. You know, great races as well as ones you've suffered through, like UTMB last year. Like, compare your mindset from 7 years ago to you know, the experience Hal Koerner today.
Yeah, I think it's a completely different frame of reference in a lot of ways. I guess confidence is one big thing. I think I've learned to pace myself well at bigger events with better competition, and we clearly have that here. So, you know, I hope that all plays a big factor.
Yeah, at a race like Hardrock where you're up high a ton, you're going to be running, you know, through an entire night, no doubt, right?
Oh yeah.
So, is it a good strategy, do you think, for especially top runners to maybe push it a little bit more than even pay effort to, you know, the first 12 hours you have daylight, don't have that the accumulated fatigue of the high elevation? Is that sort of your plan on race day?
I think that's a great strategy. I think you know, something to be said for that, to get as much out of the way as you can before, you know, some of that sets in before nightfall. I think you got to get down in the valleys, you got to get off these peaks back to where you can drink and where you can eat and where you can feel a little bit comfortable too. So I don't want to spend dilly-dally around a lot of places. But, you know, regardless, the climbs just keep coming and the elevation stays pretty consistent. I think the pace is going to be pretty fast and furious. I think there's enough guys willing to do it. The course is perfect. The weather is about perfect.
It's not going to beat me.
That was CGI,
people. So do you find there's a certain elevation you think that, like, you're climbing out of Ouray? Is there a certain elevation where you're like, dude, I'm not even going to try to eat, drink after that?
Oh, I don't. Well, I just have to see it comes. I'm going to force myself, but yeah, you just have to be cognizant to know when you're not doing it and when you're not doing it enough. And so I think that'll be the thing to keep in mind.
Yeah. What drew you back to Hardrock? I mean, you've been away for quite a while.
You know, I love racing Western States, and I've done it a lot, and it was just finding the time and getting in the lottery. And so those are the two main components, really, and making a decision, which is tough in the summer months, because this is just complete focus in a lot of different ways. You know, you try to come down here, try to acclimatize early, and get familiar, and be well rested for something like this. So you can't do it any other way.
What else did you do to prepare for this besides your taper and being down here? What else?
Yeah, I was in an altitude tent for 3 weeks before I got here, which I hope helped. And otherwise, for me, just big climbs with you know, some longer climbs, lots of elevation gain, lots of vertical, some power hiking, you know, familiarity, and just you know, learning my body with that and just seeing where we go. Yeah.
Well, best of luck out there.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Oh, and then we're gonna have a bonus question.
Oh, okay. All
right. Pacers and motivation can be a really big part of 100 milers. How are you going to motivate Ren out there?
Yeah. I can't push him up the hill. But I think it's to have his wherewithal at mile 75, you know, through the night and going up the big hills. I hope. You know, I hope he stays on top of it. I think I'll have a case of beer here at the finish line for everybody, so hopefully
That should motivate him.
hopefully that motivates him. Yeah.
Great.